Welcome back, everybody. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please do so now. But we are back with a episode of we've been on this boat for over a year, and this is what we wished we were told or what we have known before we did it.
Let's get this party started.
Yep. We made a list. It's not a very big list, but it's the things that we thought we would share. And the first one is making these YouTube videos.
It's a lot of work.
It is a little bit of work to make these videos, let alone going out and even remembering to have cameras with you or recording, because when you're out sailing you're having so much fun you ain't even thinking about recording any of it. So pretty much getting motivated to record something is very difficult to do when you're enjoying what you're doing so much. Ain't that right? We wasn't expecting that.
Yes, it's a lot of fun out there sailing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun sailing and exploring things, but keeping a camera in your back pocket is one of those things you're not thinking of when you're doing this. Alright, pretty much the main major thing is not bring so much stuff.
He told me before we left that I was bringing too much stuff, and now I see that I brought way too much stuff.
Yeah, because space is very limited. But clothes was the big thing. Like,
yeah,
we got too many clothes.
I have to go through our clothes, but one thing that I would have brought with this when we moved was a hoodie, because I didn't realize...
A hoodie?
Yes. Yeah. I did not realize it got cold in Florida as much as it does at night.
Yeah, in the wintertime it gets cold at night.
Yeah.
So brought a few more winter clothes for those cold nights.
Yep.
And the flip-flops. You can never have too many flip-flops.
No, we lost ours in the storm back in December.
Yep. I had a bunch of storm surge and my flip-flops floated away. I didn't realize how much I liked my flip-flops till that next morning.
Yeah,
It was irritating and emotional for me because I loved my flip-flops.
Yes, it was very irritating because we had to go buy cheap flip-flops.
Yeah, cheap flip-flops are not fun when you're used to the nice ones. So, extra flip-flops.
We also would have bought a bigger first aid kit because, I fall off the boat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know whether you're going to get a cut or a scrape or something here or there.
And everything because of the salt water, it stings.
Yes.
And it never heals.
Yes.
It gets all sore and raw.
You can get infections down here too really bad. So
yeah.
I mean, you gotta keep it clean. You gotta get it clean as soon as it happens, and
keep it dry, which is next to impossible.
Yes, that is next to impossible to be on a boat. But
yep.
We make do. And another thing is how much work it is to keep the boat clean and organized. Not necessarily clean, but organized to where you can just know where everything's at all at once, because I'll move stuff around and try to find a place for it here, a place for there. I got it pretty well organized now after being on it for a year, but it took me a minute to get it to where I can keep everything put away, organized. It takes about 30 minutes for us to get off the dock now, so...
Yep, no longer an hour. We're now off the dock in 30 minutes if we need to be.
And coming back from going sailing, it takes me about 30 minutes to put back to where we can come in here and, it's ready to go for us to sleep in at night, so...
Yeah, we do have a pretty good system of getting on and off the dock now for when we go out sailing in the Gulf.
Yes, it's a good system.
Yep, it works.
Yep.
And did more calling around for boat docks or slips, if that's something you're into, if you're wanting to be at a dock or at anchor. The first marina we were at wasn't all that great, but it made do for at the moment. And we learned real quick that it wasn't one of the best places you could be at for literally the same amount of money as a more higher end place like we are now.
Yeah.
Did more research for sure on where to go, because some nights being at anchor would be a lot better than being at a dock, for sure.
Yes, very much so.
A lot more peaceful. A lot more peaceful.
Yes.
And another thing I wish I would have known or anticipated was the price of boat parts. I severely underestimated them. I got this cleat. It's a midship cleat. It goes on my track here on my tow rail. Because I don't have any midship cleats, without having to drill holes in the boat, I get this one here. I just slide it on the rail, pull the lever up, and it'll slide up and down on top of the tow rail, wherever I want. $160 for this one piece. And also, connecting the anchor chain. These little boogers here. The little, I think they're called double clevis. They're not that expensive, but I wouldn't expect them to pay the $12 a piece for them. And engine maintenance. Changing the oil, running the engine, checking belts. You have to stay on top of it more than you would a vehicle, because you're essentially trusting your life with this thing when you're out at sea and you're out of reach from radio or just about anything. You want to make sure your equipment works. So I run the engine once a week, sometimes twice a week, because I want to make sure everything's working for if we have to leave in an emergency, we can.
And we have to refill the water once a week.
Yep, our holding tank for our fresh water. We fill that up once a week while we're running the engine and doing all our systems checks and everything. And washing the boat while I do that. I'll have to post a video of what I do on my weekly maintenance schedule on the boat. So look forward to seeing a video like that here shortly. Living in a small space with your partner.
Yeah, it's very trying sometimes. But I mean, I wouldn't have any other way.
No.
Yeah, we're here, and
you see all these other YouTubers out there that are living with couples living together, they fight. Because if they don't, or they say they get along just fine, they're lying. I know they fight.
Yeah, I mean, we fight at least maybe once a week.
Nah, well, not really. We bicker back and forth.
Bicker, yes. We don't
Bicker
really,
back and forth,
yeah.
but other than that, it's...
And mainly it's my fault, because I mean, I'll leave stuff lay all over the boat, and Quentin does not like clutter.
No, I don't like clutter.
For sure, and if everything's not put back in its place, like we were talking about earlier in the organization thing, if it's not put back in its place, it does get annoying.
And it does get in the way.
Yes, it does get in the way.
It does get in the way. That's for sure.
And like...
And how it looks so magnificent and glorious to live on a sailboat traveling, making YouTube videos.
It does look good.
It does look good and amazing and glamorous and prestigious. But they didn't mention what life was like living in a fiberglass box in the tropical heat.
And the wind.
The wind, the rain, the lightning, the tides, the storm surge.
Yes.
Twisted backwards in an engine compartment. Trying to put something in your back pocket while you're upside down. They don't show any of that stuff.
Nope.
I'm gonna have to start showing that kind of stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We told me keep it real whenever we...
Yeah, keep it real. We were sold a lie, that's for sure.
Yes, we were.
Oh, man.
But we're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, it's awesome. It definitely took some adjustment. I adjusted to it a lot quicker than you did. It took you, what, about 6-7 months?
Yeah.
To really get it in your head that this is what it is?
Yes, it took me a minute to get used to it.
Yeah. But
especially
yeah,
boat moving constantly.
Yeah.
That took a lot to get used to.
Yeah, it did. But now that we're used to it, we love it.
Yeah, I don't like to be on land.
Remember our first storm, how it scared us? Because the boat was rocking, it was making all kinds of noises, we weren't used to it yet.
Yes.
And now when it rains, we just lay down, read a book, or watch YouTube video.
Yep.
That's pretty much what we do. We just kick back now because we're used to it.
It's relaxing now. I mean,
Yeah. Kind of got what do they call it? Desensitized to the weather
Yep.
on a boat. And another thing, not to sound cocky and all that other good stuff though, but it don't take much to have one of the best looking boats in the area.
No.
It don't take much, because we've learned something about people that live aboard. There are people that want to do it by choice, and the people that do it because they have no choice. And those are very easily able to tell apart because of how well they take care of their equipment versus piling a bunch of junk on top of their boat. There's a few examples out here at the anchorages and some of the marinas too. It's not just the anchorages, of people who respect their equipment.
Yes, very much.
That's
so.
a big thing too, because we actually use our boat and actually use our sails and all that other good stuff. So I always want to make sure my equipment operates and is in good condition. So if you take care of it and maintain it and keep it clean, the more likely you are to find an issue, if there is one, before it becomes a big problem. That's one thing I've learned.
Yes, very much so. You're very right.
Yep. And back to the other thing of buying too much stuff. I've got an 18-gallon tank on this boat. It uses diesel. It's a Yanmar. We bought several 5-gallon jugs. 2?
Yes, 5. We bought 4 of them.
Okay. That's a lot of fuel. I've had the same fuel in this tank for over 2 years. And we use our boat as often as we do. And I run it as often as I do. And it don't use any fuel. I think about 2,000 RPM I burn what? Maybe a quarter pint an hour, if that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just sips fuel. So that's another thing we bought too many of, was diesel cans. And these things were what, $60 a piece?
Yep. $66 I think for one of them.
Yeah, the real nice looking yellow cans that look like the old metal cans from back in the day, but they're yellow and plastic, 5-gallon cans. That we got too many of those, but I mean, we might as well fill them before we head out to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Fill them up, so, because I mean,
I
I'm sure diesel's easy to find. It's just going to be a little more expensive, I'm sure.
I'd rather have too much than not enough.
Yep. Yep. Better to have it not need it than need it and not have it.
Yes.
And the lifestyle. It takes away a lot of motivation, because I'll be sitting here thinking, oh, I've got everything I need to do this. Well, I'll think about it, I said, oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
We're very bad about that.
Tomorrow comes, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And before you know it, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks. And then it just makes you feel a little overwhelmed until you actually start knocking projects out one at a time.
Yep.
There's still a few projects I need to do. I'll do it tomorrow. Another thing, I came from an engineering background, so that's a big help. Come to find out, a lot of people doing what I'm doing pretty much come from a similar background as well. Because living on a boat, you have to learn how to be a mechanic, an electrician, a fiberglass man, woodworking person, plumbing, rigging, a sailor mainly, but
everything you have to.
Yeah, you have to
be a jack of all trades, pretty much.
you have to rely on yourself, because I'm sure while I'm tied to the dock, I could find someone to do it for me for a price, but at the same time, you could save so much money doing it yourself. Like a lot of money. I think the cheapest people I found around here that do boat work stuff, $100 an hour was the cheapest I found. And that's not counting parts.
No.
But $100 an hour was the minimum I've found so far.
I wish somebody would have told me how hard it was to cook on the boat, how hard it is to do dishes in a single sink on the boat. Because it is difficult to wash dishes in a single sink.
Mm-hmm.
And get them clean without no dish soap on me, and make sure that the sink doesn't get clogged because it's only got a little bitty drain.
Mm-hmm.
How hot it gets in here whenever you cook on the boat.
Yeah, it gets really warm in here.
From the stove, but other than that, I mean,
We'll try to do all that stuff when the boat's rocking from the wind.
yeah, that makes it very difficult too. Is trying to do it whenever the boat's rocking, whenever it's rain, whenever it's storming, whenever it's windy. And it's not just rainstorms or windstorms either, it's wind.
Mm-hmm. The wind is the big one.
The rain doesn't bother me, but the wind, whenever the wind, it just moves the boat back and forth. But I mean, it's difficult, but we get it done. I mean, I get it done. He works on the boat, I clean the boat.
Yep. And being tied to the dock, there's a downside to that. You're less motivated to take the boat out.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, because you get pretty comfortable sitting here. But we've started taking our boat out more and more often now, so planning on a big trip this summer.
Yep.
Gonna go south. It's gonna be awesome. But anyways, we'll talk about that when the video posts. Let's go see wild turtles. Turtles. But if you haven't yet, subscribe, because I need you to.
Please subscribe.
It helps in a big way.
Yes, it helps us out in a big way.
Yes.
Yes.
Because she said to.
Please subscribe.
Thanks for watching, and
Stay salty, my friends.
that's right.